microphone?
Yeah.
Are we live?
Yeah.
We're live! Alright guys, like my new setup? So, last stream I spoke about exercise, so I'll start a little bit more with exercise because I got very good response with that. And I'm actually trying to see myself go live here on the side, so this is a whole new thing tested.
Let's see.
And I cannot see if I'm live because we're in a hurry, you guys. We're in a hurry, and so I cannot see myself on my own channel right here. So bear with me 5 seconds because I know you guys are coming into the chat, and then I'm going to go into the subject a little bit more about exercise, and then also about a lot of other things I've been thinking about, which is beef, the quality of it, exercise, and then also that's great. Yeah. Let me check your phone. Okay, because how about you fix my phone because I can't see the comments coming in.
Hi guys.
Don't mind my Greek guy. All right, Deborah's in the house. Okay, so the way I'm filming right now, you guys, is through a camera. So normally I can see comments on my phone, but I'm not using my phone. So right now I see no comments. I see nothing. I have no idea unless I look here. As you guys can see, well, you can't see because it goes out of focus. But there you see, and then I can see the comments coming in. So okay.
Use my phone.
It's very hard to hear. They can't hear me.
They can't hear you.
Nope. So thank you guys. I promise we're going to get this going soon. Just be really, 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 really patient.
Okay.
Yes, you sound very distant. Okay. Thank you, Deborah. Deborah, keep giving me some feedback. I'll let you know when we've tried to bump up the sound.
I will try.
Yes, he's going to try. Otherwise, we're going to have to put the microphone a lot closer to me.
Let's go with Comlink.
Yeah, we're fixing the audio, you guys. Oh, thank you, Alex. Sorry, guys, on the replay. This is the first time we're doing this. And not only is it the first time, we're squeezing it in before having a meeting. So the reason why we didn't test it before is because we just literally ran out of time.
How is the sound now?
How's the sound now? So Deborah or anyone else, sound is back. Okay, can you guys hear me okay? Because I want it to not sound like low, because people on the replay won't hear it if it's low. It should be pretty vibrant. Plenty loud now. Okay, thank you. All right. So let's get this popping. I'm going to put this over here.
Give it to me.
So I'm looking at my tech guy, his phone, and I'm seeing notifications coming in, and it says, I'm here now. That's what it said. And I was like, I don't have an appointment now. Okay, here we go. All right, guys. Yes. All right. We are good to go. It has an echo. Deborah, does it have an echo? Hello, hello, hello. You guys let me know. Too much light on your face. It turned it down just a hair. That's what I think. It's too. I'm turning into a white person here. Turn it down. No, little up. Little down. Little up. Just small movements. Okay, there.
Okay.
Thank you, Greg. I really appreciate the $24.99. Do you have a question? All right. So before I was talking a lot about our plumb line, right? So our plumb line is that line from the top of the head to the shoulders, to the rib cage, to the hip, all the way down. And a lot of people, and I've been testing this out with a lot of people, that it doesn't matter how much exercise you do. If you have those pronated shoulders, right, shoulders rounded forward, neck is out like an ostrich, and you have this anterior tilt or posterior tilt. This is the anterior tilt, right? Right. You're tilting, which every time I go to the gym, I see this every day. And you want to say something, but y'all know, when you try to tell someone at the gym that they are doing something wrong, they take it very personal because we're in a very triggered society. these days. I'm so glad I was born in 67. Yes, where people were less triggered and things were actually funny. Deborah, the Greek guy, I'm using his phone so he can't see the comments. Only I can see his comments here on this setup. So basically what we did was he had trees. I said, baby child, honey, we cannot have trees. You know, we have 5 seconds to organize this live stream. So it's going to be a quick test. And he's like, well, what? And I'm like, put up a gym, okay? Where's the barbell? Where's it over there on this side? Put up a gym. So that's what we decided to do, and with that I thought I would start with the subject of working out because I got a very good response from people wanting to do home workouts. Now, when it comes to the actual different exercises you can do, I was kind of showing you guys what you can do, but I'm going to use this few minutes just to show you a little bit more of what you can do with just a few bands, right? Just a few bands. Now, when I don't have time to go to the gym, I'll use these bands. And essentially, I'm going to show you, now this goes towards a lot of people who don't understand what they can do just at home. And then I'm going to go deep dive right into the subject of your blood sugar. I'm going to talk about high blood pressure, okay, and low blood pressure and other weird quirks that people get on these different diets, lifestyles. It's kind of dark under my cap. Okay. I'm wearing a cap because I rode my bike here. And I'm trying to clear up my melasma. As you can see, I'm doing quite well. So now I have to wear, and then I got a big, huge, deep liner across my forehead or else I wouldn't be wearing a cap. But anyway, I'm digressed. There we go. Okay, so you have to look at the body as like front of the body, back of the body. And a lot of people don't know what they could do with these simple bands. And I run a course page, which is, I cover keto, keto carnivore, standard keto, keto carnivore, and low carb, high fat. And a lot of people they have adrenal problems, they have lethargy, they're too tired to exercise. And some of you people are really seasoned lifters, but you kind of forget what you could do at home, which is something like this. So let's get started. So for example, if I want to do just a shoulder press, which is the simplest with bands, because I'm by myself, I don't have it hooked onto anything because I'm in a studio. But I'm going to go straight up. So time under tension is what I often preach for people to do as they're learning. Ooh, I'm a little bit too high. So I'm doing a shoulder press, right? And the whole point is to come down slowly in about a 3-second negative as you're going into the negative motion before you go straight up. So in a press motion, and that is to lengthen the time that you are going back to baseline, right? So you're going into that, which I said before in the other stream, which is you're doing a sliding filament. I think, was it Semika? It's so nice to not have to walk up to my freaking phone to read the comments. It's like 2 inches from my face now. But you're going to come slowly down in this negative motion on just a simple shoulder press, right? So shoulders hit the entire shoulder, right? Hits the whole shoulder. And there's the anterior and the posterior. So there's different exercises you can do to activate the entire shoulder muscle. And a lot of people don't know what to do with these simple things. So if I'm traveling, I always have these, okay? So something as simple as a shoulder press, which is such a great exercise, right? Now another shoulder exercise is the lateral raises, but a lot of you guys do them wrong. You actually have your arms sort of pointed at an angle, right? In this sort of angle, not straight arm because that puts a lot of pressure on the AC joint. So you want to actually rotate your arm slightly forward and put the elbow up. That makes sense? Like this, and not like this, and not like this. If you have your arm like this, you're not going to activate the shoulders, people. When I see people doing weights like this, I'm like, well, what are you doing with that? No. Then I see like this, and they're like this, and I'm like, no. So, it's kind of weird being in this green screen. We got a green screen going on. But if I take the motion, and it's harder with bands, do it lighter. I'm going to come up like this, right? So what you want to do is, you want to lock your core. A lot of people, like I said, they're like bent forward, shoulders are forward, neck is forward. And how you test this is you just literally go and try to stand against the wall. And if you can't stand against the wall with your back mostly flat, right? Because if you're flattening your back, you've got to tilt the girdle straight, right? Because people don't understand the concept of a straight girdle. They don't. They're like, we gotta fix this Latin here. All right. They're typically women are having this anterior tilt, and typically men have that posterior tilt, right? Or older ladies and they're walking like this. But typically men have this anterior tilt. Typically women have this, no, posterior tilt. Typically women have the anterior tilt because they're trying to stick out their booty and they're like, oh my God. So we don't want that. You cannot get anything accomplished when using the upper body when your pelvic girdle is tilted it's tilted in the wrong direction. It's not straight. So you've got to learn, like, what is that straight position and lock it in. It's the same thing when I teach people handstands, right? They're overextending and there's this big arch. And we don't want a big arch, we want to be straight. So I'll sit there and I'll tilt their girdle straight and they're like, what? Whoa. So that's the same thing when you're doing something as simple as a lateral raise. If you're going to do sort of a semi-break or squat and you're doing a lateral raise and you've got your arms, I'll do one arm, that's easier. You're going to do your arms and you want them at that slightly tilted forward elbow up position, then you're going to want to be able to have a straight core. You don't want this posterior tilt, no, that's posterior or anterior tilt, and you're going to come back down, right? So we're not coming up at this angle, right? We're coming at a slight break in the arm with the elbows turned slightly upwards. So that's an example of a lateral raise. Shoulder presses are really, really easy. Deborah's like, reminding you guys, don't forget to like up the stream because you guys, I'm trying. You know, I've been on YouTube for a long time and I'm trying to educate you guys as best as I can. Not every detail I get perfect, but whatever I am not perfect in, no one's perfect, okay, except for me. No, I'm kidding. I try to learn. Something like the cattle industry. I'm really trying to learn about the cattle industry, and I'll talk about that after showing you guys some exercises. So we've got the shoulder press, we've got the lateral raise. Now people can do front raises for their shoulder, and some people have problems. Some people have frozen shoulder or some type of inflammation. It's harder for them to raise their shoulders above their head. You do very, very lightweight. Even if you don't have bands, you can use really light dumbbells and do a front raise and just make sure you have a straight plumb line. And so it's the same. So since I'm using resistance bands, I'm going to go slow back to baseline on the negative, right? I'm going to come up. I'm going to hold it. You guys need to learn how to lock and hold things because I see people doing this and the muscle doesn't get flexed. You got to go up there and hold it. You got all the supplements suggested in one of your videos, and yes, I really like them. So the only supplements that I'm really suggesting right now, because I'm not really suggesting slippery elm anymore because I realize that people have sensitivities to it. I'm suggesting, I have to like fix this lighting so bad. Maybe I can do it from here. Can I? Is that working? Is that? The only ones I recommend right now are the ancestral desiccated organ meats, especially the thymus and the kidney. Those things are like beyond measure amazing. Yeah, okay. So another part of the body you want to hit is your triceps. That's going to be considered the back of the body. That's the tricep muscle right there, as you guys can see. And when you have cables, a lot of these little cables will come with a little black loop. So you would take this strip, black strip, shut the door, and then there's going to be a loop left. So you would sort of, stitch this through the loop, if I say it in that way. And then you can do tricep pull downs, right? So that's a tricep pull down and activate that tricep muscle. So you can do pronated or supinated tricep pull down, or you can just do well, right now I'm not even holding the bands, but I'm just showing you this tricep motion. And again, you would also keep a straight plumb line and hold that contraction. There's overhead tricep extensions you guys can do. So this is an overhead extension. You guys can see. A lot of people put their elbows out to the side. You don't put your elbows out to the side. You put the arm close to the ear, but not on the ear, right? So that's going to be a tricep extension. So if I did a double arm, you would see it in this position. Okay, so I'm just going through these really quickly. Yeah, Endeavor's reminding you guys, if you want to book a consultation, go to stephanieperson.com, or if you want to be on the course, which is a membership subscription-based course, which is super cheap, but it's amazing. I know it is for a fact. Very informative. You can also go to stephanieperson.com, or you can go to my Instagram, which is Stephanie Ketogenic. Now, there are other exercises that you can do for your back, like back rows, bent over back rows. You can do with these bands. They're not cables. Okay. So you can do bent over back rows. If you got something to tie it to, you're gonna pull that handle or grip to your side, not out to the side like so, but close to the side. And this would be considered a bent over back row. Okay, there's also, for your lats, you can also do straight arm pull downs for your lats, which is, so tricep would be bending at the elbow, and your lats would be a straight arm down. So, I'm going to schedule a consultation. I agree. I've been following her videos, and she's very knowledgeable. Thank you so much. Samika. Now, there's a ton of exercises you can do. You can do, some people will go and do pull-ups. Well, they'll wrap it around, and they'll use the band to give resistance when they're trying to do a push-up, on the ground, a push-up. Or people will use it for, they'll connect bands to the plate loading or pin loading machines when they're trying to create resistance. So people are really trying to learn how to be able to have resistance going on the negative. So having bands even at the gym is so good for that. Now you can also do glute kickbacks for your hamstrings and really for your glutes, which is to put this the cables into the hand grip and connect it to something, and then you can, of course, you can kick backwards, and as you can see, pop that glute, right? So this is how, you guys, I was able to build my glutes after having 10 surgeries on my left knee due to being fracked up from being a pro skateboarder. All right. I feel like we should have some music going on here. Be fabulous, but we don't. Let's see here. Now, you guys, this is just the test, the first time that I am going live by using the green screen, so it's completely green here for me, and having myself be able to read the comments from this angle. And Deborah is she's just this lovely person in my life who's my moderator, and she's reminding you guys how to join the keto course, keto or low carb or carnivore. All right, let's go into the food stuff, and then I got a meeting here at Liberate in LA. Okay. Now, a couple of things I found very interesting is this whole conversation about grass-fed versus grain-fed, right? Cattle. And I know that like Frank Tufano, and I love the background, Stephanie looks very professional. We just messing around. We can put up any background. So that's what's really fun about green screen. So when we have another day and time, because we're actually just testing this today to see other things to bring up, I can also pull up articles and things online and show you guys more things rather than just to talk about it. I can actually just pull up videos, I can pull up pictures, and I can describe, and it's great. So, thanks to my lovely Greek guy and Liberate. Now, the whole thing, you thought it was an actual gym, I know, right? And what? And two. No, I'm kidding. So, the thing about grass-fed, first of all, y'all need to get on the beef, okay? I need to drink some water. Y'all need to get on the beef because chicken breast has no nutrition. It's very small. Small amount. Not much. And still I see people afraid of red meat. And what they are naive to understand is how important red meat is as far as the nutrient value of it. Like vitamin D, vitamin A, B12, B complex, especially when we get down to the organ meats. You know, a good supply of iron and creatine and things of this nature. But the thing is that if you're broke, right? Here we've got Frank Tufano, like, oh my God, it's got to be like, you know, this high quality grass-fed. And an 8-ounce ribeye can cost $30, and a lot of people can't afford it. And that's a fattier cut of meat. And then we've got, which is great, you know, fatty cut of meat. So the nutrition is in the fat of an animal. People have a hard time understanding that concept because they think fat is bad and fat gives you a heart attack and fat has no nutrition. Can I talk today? I cannot talk today. But fat has a lot of nutrition. It has most of it that we need for a lot of repairing these damaged cells in the day. So, hey, Greek guy, wouldn't it be fun to have some music in the background? Like very low. We're just messing around.
Okay.
So, can they see all of that background
No.
stuff? Okay, cool. Okay, I can see it. I was like, oh, people don't see what I'm seeing. All right, so then you have like grain-fed. So grain-fed, unfortunately, you know, it especially when they go to the feedlots, it's going to fatten them up. Now, I'm really learning about this whole thing when you take a cow to a feedlot and then you fatten it up. And then it's going to have one of the worst days of its life when it's finally gone. But, I fooled you, Nancy. Grain-fed feeding directly into stomach is bad. Okay, so here's the problem. I'm really sorry to tell you, Delmar. Oh, that's horrible music. That's so bad. That is
You
not
want
me.
background music?
Yeah, but that's bad. That's not good.
Okay.
Okay.
You have to choose the music and then come.
Okay, we'll do it another day. And put me back on so I can see what's going on. Okay. Please. Paracolo. Camisa usted?
Oh, no.
Oh.
that was not. Paracalo was okay.
Okay, paracolo. Okay, my bad. All right, so the problem, here's the thing. Yes, there's two camps to this. In grass-fed, you're going to get all of these lovely, amazing vitamins and minerals. It's fabulous, okay? Amino acid profiles and omega-3s. In grain-fed, you are also going to get these things, just you're not going to get as much in some of the nutrients, right? Which I have listed on a paper, which I don't have with me right now because I rode my bike here. Trust me, all these people talking about, if you're not a cattle rancher, if you didn't grow up around this stuff, and you're talking about the nutrition in grass-fed versus grain-fed, you Googled it, okay? You didn't know it. So I'm being very, very transparent and letting you guys know that I'm learning about this. And so if I get some details wrong, I'm always willing and open to learn more. So what I'm trying to say is you're going to get nutrition. So Sean Baker is correct and Frank Tufano is correct. At the end of the day, most people cannot afford grass-fed. They can't. It's expensive, especially when it comes to beef. So would I rather have somebody eat corn-fed, horribly abused feedlot cows, over being a vegan? Yes, I would. Yes, I would. No, yes, I would. But if you also are going through autoimmunity, and I'm trying to keep you away from the standard American diet, from bread and Panda Express and McDonald's and Subway and chips and beer and crackers and cookies and ice cream and cereal and all this crap that people have and these stupid keto bars and shakes and all this garbage. then yes, I definitely recommend that you guys just go and do the best you can with what you can afford. I luckily am able, especially living here in LA, there's a million places that I can get pastured grass-fed. Now, sometimes I can't. Sometimes it's all bought up, and I'm like, so then I'll go myself because I've gone to Springville, and which is very close to LA, and I've just bought like a bunch of stuff that's grass-fed, and I've taken it home. It's all in my freezer, so I'm very lucky for that. From Ireland. You're up. It's late, but thank you. Woofing bad sweat. You got it, love, and we really appreciate it. Thank you, Michelle. All right. So what I really suggest is that you guys do the best that you can financially when it comes to meat. If you can't afford grass-fed pastured, then I'm sort of, because my voice has a heavy hand out there. People listen to a lot of what I'm saying, and I'm saying I am leaning on the side of Sean Baker, yet I understand Frank Tufano, but I live like Frank Tufano in the context of grass-fed pastured, but I understand people who don't have the financial ability to eat fully pastured grass-fed. It's like no soy, no corn, no feedlot. Like that's really difficult for a lot of people. And I know that because I coach people almost every day. I've been doing it for years. And people are like, I really want to do this, but I can't afford this and this and this. What do I do? Do I go and I eat eggs? What if you have an egg allergy? What about the vegetarians who want to do keto and they have a butter and egg sensitivity? So it gets really, really, well, that's vegetarianism has nothing to do with eating red meat, but when it comes to eating organic or grass-fed or grain-fed. Now, because there is differences between grain-fed and things labeled organic and grass-fed. Liver, especially the liver and probably the kidneys, I'm like, that should not be grain-fed. I think you should absolutely do the best you can to get grass-fed now. The heart and the liver and the kidneys are always going to be cheaper than those other types of more muscle meat types like ribeye. So I definitely recommend that you guys go fully grass-fed when it comes to liver. And if you can't find it, if you're in certain countries, because people find me from all over the world. You see how girls clicked? I'll take it, okay. Okay, so somebody asked about the total grams for women. Okay. And like phone calls are coming in. I guess Leo's gonna have to wait. The point is that women and men, and you have women and men, they eat different amounts of protein. Same types of protein. We've got all fatty cuts, right? Lamb near the rib, fattier cuts of lamb. We've got bison, fatty cuts of bison. We've got, of course, beef, traditional beef from a cow. We have, or steer or whatever. We have the eggs. If you don't have an egg sensitivity to the protein in the egg, there's less in the yolk, more allergenic properties in the whites, but still some people can't even eat the egg at all. There is, let's see, what else is the protein? We've got chicken, but chicken is like lesser of the nutritional valued protein, and so many of you can't stop eating chicken. I don't know how that's going on with you. Okay, so this discussion I had on my course page was somebody's father who raises cattle. So that was really great. And what she was saying was that the reason why, this is what she said. She said that the reason why commercially based beef is better than pork is because a cow's life is not fully grain-fed. With pork, they're fully grain-fed, and not only are they fully grain-fed, they're not well taken care of when they're in little boxes and, eating where they're pooping, and that's where infections come into a problem. Now, if I would say fully pastured pig versus fully pastured cow, cow's always going to win. Because there's just so many amazing nutrient dense qualities when it comes down to beef. There's so many, even when it comes down to the omega-3 profile. Yeah, I believe that pigs, people say it's more 6, but I think there's a lot of there's a lot of mono, which is 9, I think, in pork. So, let's see here. Okay. Now, when it comes to, I noticed that I do better on beef than pork with your blood sugar. Things that you guys want to realize is that some people, and this was also a discussion on the course page, some people who've got gut issues have a problem with beef. They just do. They try, they're trying to do their best, and they just start to have those histamine reactions. So histamine would be like stomach ache, itchy, pressure in the stomach, bloated, burpy, although that's more about having low HCl levels in the stomach. Some people don't sleep well. They get really, really tired or skin issues from eating beef. Now, that's very rare. Then there are some people who react to pork. So there are some people who react to beef and have to eat pork. Like, they only do well on lard. And then there are some people who do really, really well on beef, who do horrible on pork. And our bodies are so weird. Like, we're very similar, but what we end up having a histamine response to is typically always different from person to person. Now, what I found is most people can handle beef more. I cannot talk today. I think it's because I'm tripping. 5 minutes. Okay, I got 5 minutes. I think it's because I'm tripping out on all of the whole setup, and it's just weird, and my brain's going in 50,000 directions, and we have to go soon. So, you have headaches. So, headaches? Oh, or headaches can be another symptom on beef, I think, is what Deborah was trying to say. If you guys have questions, keep the questions going, because I will be leaving this stream soon. So I just want to make sure that now that I can actually read, I think the problem is that when I do live streaming, I can't see the comments because they're so far away from me. And now they're just right here. It's awesome. Pasture raised on grass, but grain finished beef is what I often see. Yes, and so that's a great point. Is it Kurt? It's a great point that there are cows that are grain finished. How many grams of protein should you average? Okay, you asked that. Okay. Or somebody's asking the same question twice. What I was trying to say is that women come in all different sizes. Okay, I might look big on camera, but I'm really not. I'm like, if my tech guy came and stood next to me, I am very, very small. He's going to do that right now. Okay, that's him bending down. Okay, so that's my size. Go back. I just want them to see the size difference. So the amount of protein that the Greek guy, okay, what's the name of your, it's called your...
Digital Pumpkin?
Yeah, Digital Pumpkin. Go check him out, you guys, at Digital Pumpkin. His requirement, I'm way more active than him, but his requirement for protein is going to be more than mine because he's much taller than I, and he's a guy. Women also come in different sizes, but with women, the range of protein is a lot more narrow. It's not as wide because of... most women are sitting between, I think the average height for a woman is 5'4", believe it or not. I'm 5'3". So you got women between like 5'2" and about 5'6" to maybe 5'7". That's the pool of women that's very, very common. Then we take women who are not having as much muscle, let's say, as myself, and muscles need to eat, right? They need sustenance. They need materials to build and stay amazing and keep you young and keep your bones strong. So my requirement for protein is going to be higher than a woman who is 5'7" who doesn't lift. You see? So with women, it's way more narrow in terms of how much protein. And so I say always between 45, because if you're a woman who's my height, 5'3", and you don't lift at all and you're overweight and you sit at a desk, your protein requirement is going to go down. So my protein literally goes only about to 55 grams of protein per day. And to give you an eyeball of what that looks like, 1 egg is 6 grams of protein. 2 eggs is 12. 3 eggs is 18. So I might be able to just push 3 eggs 3 times a day. Now, I would never eat a bunch of eggs because that can make me develop a sensitivity to them. It's just to give you an eyeball amount. Now, a chicken thigh, about that big, so cool. So in the future, I'll be able to pull up a thigh, or I'll be able to pull up numbers so you guys can understand what thighs look like when we get really organized, and we'll do all of the screenshots so we can go and load up all the background so you guys can see what an actual thigh is looking like in size, and it's between around 14 to about 22 grams of protein depending on the size of the thigh. So it's mostly around 18 grams of protein. Now chicken breast can go anywhere from 26 grams of protein to 30. And people don't understand, women do not go up to 4 ounces or 100 grams in weight of protein. Okay, somebody wrap this up soon. Oh, thank you, Samika. Oh, that's so sweet of you to donate at 20. Thank you so much to donate to the super chat. I really appreciate it. And if you have a question, like you guys know, I forget that the super chat even exists. So when people donate, I just see like an orange thing and then like ching. So I appreciate it. So make sure that you ask questions as well. CC Prime, thank you. Says, hey Deb, love you ladies. Okay, so Aware24 says leaky gut, L-glutamine. Okay, bone broth. Okay, leave coffee alone. Now, some people can't handle bone broth because of the glutamate. It can give you headaches. It can make you feel sick. So then you would do a broth. So be careful. Don't just jump towards the bone broth fanatical craze. It's the Beatles. Ah! No. Y'all have to be careful with that bone broth. Normal thighs, not the huge thighs. Exactly. Without the leg. You're welcome, Samika. Thank you so much. Does the requirement change with age? Yes. Same frame weight. Look, I'm in my 50s, okay? My bones are like strong as frack. So for me, it hasn't changed. Y'all, it just depends on how much you wear down your body. If you're wearing down your body and you're sitting and your muscular development is low, your bone density is going to be low because you're getting older. That requirement for protein is going to go down. But because I'm hitting it hard and I'm lifting and I'm doing this, then all my protein demand goes up. But on keto, the protein goes down because I'm not dependent on carbohydrates. A lot of people don't connect those two dots. If you're not eating carbs, okay. If you're not eating carbs and you're ketotic, like your body's like, I'm running on ketones, I got some energy. Woo! If your body's running on ketones, that means that your brain is not searching for glucose. Because if you don't eat, if you do this whole intermittent fasting nonsense, if you don't eat and you're running around, your body will start to break down muscle. That's why people look all like, shriveled up and small when they've been intermittent fasting for a long time, or fasting or any types of fasting. You see people get very, very small. So you might get leaner in some areas, but you also will lose a lot of your muscle. And muscle is the fountain of youth as you get older. Plus the menstrual cycle will go like, bah, holla. No, not even holla, bye. So, as you get older, it's very, very important to know the macros according to your particular lifestyle and level of activity and health. So when I do consultations, I can sit down with somebody and like 5 seconds go, okay, this is what I believe is the right amount of protein for you based on your lifestyle and who you are and your age. So age does matter, but if you're a person like me who's super active, then it does matter. My protein requirement is still going to be high. I hope that makes sense, because you see this gym stuff back here? You need to know your protein threshold. And what I was trying to explain before is if your body is not looking for glucose and is looking for ketones, it'll go to the restaurant of my belly. See that jiggle? That's still fat. It's not a lot, but that's still fat. So I like this body fat. I think this body fat is good for me. I don't think I need to go lower than that. I know that I don't, because then you lose everything else. You lose the butt, you lose the boobs. But the point is that if you guys are not eating carbs, then the body doesn't look for glucose. Therefore, it doesn't rob from muscle to convert into glucose to feed the brain. So that is the reason why you become more insulin sensitive. And see, when you're hungry, the body is almost like, Rawr! then your body starts breaking down muscle. My body doesn't do that, so I'm sparing muscle. So that's what I wanted to say. I think that's it. I have to go now. Can you build muscle on keto? That to me is the weirdest question. You're talking to a woman who's almost 52 years of age with muscle, okay? With muscle. It's like a weird question. Of course you can. That's the whole thing, is that your body's not breaking down as much as it would by eating carbs. So you're constantly in this growth stage. You don't have to go through glycation as much. So your reproductive hormones are just cranking out the testosterone and the growth hormone to stay strong, young, and vital. Steph out here putting dudes in their 20s. There's a shame. Okay, guys. Thank you, Cece. Thank you, everyone. I will do this again another day when I have more time. Sorry for all the messy beginning, but like literally we threw this together and started. So thank you, guys. Go to stephanieperson.com if you want to book a consultation. It is worth it. I promise you. Or you can go to my keto course page, which is literally a course, which is it's a subscription based, or you can go. Stay here on this channel and learn a lot more. Don't forget to push the notification bell. Or you can go to my Facebook fan page at Stephanie Ketogenic. You guys know, got some energy! Energy, energy, energy. Now I've got to go to my next appointment. All right, thanks, guys, for going live with me. And be patient. I'm learning how to do all this stuff. Bye, guys. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Deborah. Bye.